It's just a little test to kind of talk my way through for my Topic Tuesday talk about everything that's going on in the world, particularly everything going on with the protest. Got my fro looking nice. Time to get braided up soon. Ooh, and a little cut right there, a little mustache area. So, I was at the office and I was sitting just thinking about stuff going on, and so I got in my notes section and started typing and started thinking, hey, shout out to everybody that went and protested. They went out there and walked the line and picketed and did something that, our ancestors, the leaders before us have been doing. Shout out to all y'all who've been doing that. Go out there, express your mind, express your opinion, express your thoughts, show your rage, your frustration, your anger, solidarity, all that good stuff, man. It's good stuff to, that's all right to do. Here's the part where it gets a little tricky. I can't remember what I wrote, but I think I wrote down, it's all good to protest. I don't agree, I don't approve of everything with the smashing and the looting and all that, but hey, if that's what you do, hey, go for it. You know what I mean? That's your choice. It's your God-given right to go and loot and smash and destroy people's properties. Hey, I'd be hurt if it was mine, but at some same time, you get it. People are upset and frustrated. My question is, what do you do after that? Everybody keeps wanting to know, how do we change the system? How do we change stuff? And how do we get a different, how do we get to what the resolution, what we need? I see people posting stuff and you're talking in circles. Well, how do we get there? We need reform. We need this. I agree. We need all that stuff. Here's what personally for me, I think we need. After you go and break folks' windows and take their property, what do you do after that to not only atone for your behavior, but also to change the moral fabric of who you are? Let's talk about the police situation. Dude putting his knee on somebody's neck and the dude dies. We can get police reform and all that, and clearly he was in the wrong. I had a discussion about this intention and behavior, so I'm going to intertwine that. I don't know what the cop's intention was, but we all know his behavior was unacceptable and it downright wrong. But how do you change that part? Well, it's the way we change ourselves and the way we change our behaviors and the way we change it to better people. You must atone and you must address and hold your own self accountable for your behavior, right? If you go and break something and steal somebody's goods, cool. Hey, go for it. Do what you do. That's the most would say unacceptable behavior, right? Okay, cool. But what do you do after that? What do you do? Do you go, I would say, go and donate your time. Go and donate your money. Go help clean up your mess. I'm reminded of when I was little, and my parents, and probably y'all too, would always say, if you make a mess, clean it up, right? That's what the cop needs to do. My man made a mess, so what should he do? You got to clean it up. Here's what I'll say. The community, and what many of us keep saying, and even I said, growing up in Pleasant Grove, you see your fair share of cops. But you knew them, right? You knew them by name. You knew who they were. And so what happens is the community doesn't need to, we say the demand, right? We want the cops to be a part, serve our communities, get to know us. But we need to hear that from the police departments. That cop should come out and say, if he had a moral fabric, realize that whatever your intention was, your behavior was completely unacceptable and it resulted in killing somebody. And so, what should be done? Say, hey, look, what I did was wrong. My tactics were wrong. I'm going to work within myself to figure out what led me to that decision. Not only that, I'm going to work with the police department so we can figure out a way how we can come up with tactics and come up with solutions in these situations. Now, don't get me wrong. I know being a police officer is a scary job, a scary situation. And I'm not going to say this is what you signed up for. right? You signed up to protect and all those good things. You probably didn't sign up to walk around in fear for your life, even though that's a part of the description. That's understandable. And because my homeboy's a police officer, my homeboy Jason's a cop, good guy, good moral fabric. And so it's about the police officers coming out and saying, you know what, I need to work with them, and we're gonna figure out a way how we can address our community. And whether it's through training programs, that's about, well, we got the training programs. Yeah, but the training programs don't train you for when you get into an emotional situation that's extremely high powered, where you feel in control of the situation, right? To where you feel your power being used in the moment coming out, where you feel like, okay, I got this dude handcuffed and now he's beckoning to my wheel. How do you address those situations? It's the same thing. Talk about with trainers, you address hostage situations, right? How to talk them down, things like that. Okay, well, how about you got when somebody's subdued and you feel that adrenaline running in you, where you feel like you just all powerful? How do you handle those situations? When do you snap back into reality? And that, to me, would be the training part, right? So with the cop situation, whatever his intention was to subdue old dude, get him on the ground, whatever it was, bro, your behavior didn't match your intention. Your behavior, your execution was completely wrong. Just call it what it is. Hold yourself accountable for what you did. Go and talk and say, hey, I'm just saying, if I was a police officer, here's what I would say. My intention didn't match my behavior. I was just trying to protect and subdue the dude. After I did that, I don't know what happened. I don't know what jumped inside of me. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go apologize to the community. I'm gonna apologize to the family. I'm gonna do everything I can. And I know they got protocol. You can't go out and talk to anybody or probably have press conferences or anything like that. But I gotta do my part to go and say, hey, look, I need to take my behavior and go figure out how I can do something different in that situation, and then we can teach it to everybody in the police force. Not only that, the police departments need to come out and say, we gonna be in the community a little bit more. We ain't gonna go and patrol nobody. What we gonna do? We gonna drive through. Hey, what's happening? Hey, yo, Lil Juju. Hey, Zachary. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Sarah, Latoya, whomever. Like, we know all of you. Maria, Felipe, whoever. Doesn't matter what your neighborhood is. So from that aspect, from the police officer aspect to the community aspect, that's personally what should be done. You understand the intention, and then you see the behavior, but you correct the behavior so that it put it in that situation. Other police officers don't feel afraid to be like, bro, like, get up, like, back up off of this dude, right? Because those other police officers should have done that. Also citizens, I'm sure y'all wanted to hop in there too, but you worried about your life too. So that's the intention and the behavior. I'm just saying, from that perspective, if something wants to change, we can change policies, we can change procedures, but you have to change the moral fabric of you, or the moral fabric of yourself. When you do something wrong, you gotta hold yourself accountable. Okay, now for my protesters, like I said, man, you want to go out there. I was a kid once. I mean, I think one way back in the day, where everybody was taking sodas from a convenience store, and I grabbed me a case. It was wrong. I'm probably gonna get in trouble by my parents now. But after that, after what happened, it was what do I do afterwards to change that moral fabric, change that decision, right? To change that response, because I know it was wrong, right? So many of y'all out there stealing people's clothes, breaking people's property. Your intention for a peaceful march is okay. Your intention to make change, your intention to go out and protest, that's great, your intention. But again, does your behavior match your intention once it gets to looting, once it gets to rioting? And that's okay. If you want to loot and riot, that's cool. Here's what I will say. Just go and clean it up. Just go clean it up. Donate your time to somebody. I saw somebody who stole some shoes. Go donate them shoes to somebody who need them. If you want to play Robin Hood, then play Robin Hood, but don't do it halfway. Right? I'm sure everybody who's watching or listening, their parents have probably told them, or parents have probably said something to the degree of, if you make a mess, you clean it up. Don't front, that's what half of y'all did. So that's how you end up changing the moral fabric and changing the behavior, right? Because I'm sure there are plenty of people, other people were looting, and so I took something. That's cool. I'm glad you took, that's cool that you took something. I don't want you to punish, But you know that's an unacceptable and a behavior that's not a good behavior. You know that. So do the opposite then. Now do the good thing, because here's what happens. Now that you know both, now that you know there's a good and a bad choice to be made, you get to decide. You get to figure out how to handle it. You get to figure out what to do. And so, like I said, I ain't mad at the people protesting and looting. I mean, of course, it's disappointing. You know what I mean? You don't want to see individual stuff broken and they hard work and their dreams and stuff. You know, we're never guaranteed that life gonna run smoothly for us. Sometimes we're the victim, sometimes we're the suspect. Even we don't do anything, right? And that's what we going through as people, as minorities, as blacks. Even some of my Hispanic folks, but even as blacks. You know, we walk through and we I was talking to somebody earlier today. We walk and we worry. I told somebody back when I was under 18, I don't think I'd ever, the one thing I worried about when it came to police officers was getting a ticket, paying it off, or my parents finding out. But it's the fact that the hard thing now is when most of us are driving, if not all of us, and we see a cop behind us, we don't worry about getting a ticket. We worry about how it's going to end. And that's an important piece, you guys. So, you know, for my people out there, you know, trashing stores, breaking property, y'all keep saying y'all want to change in a solution. That's in all of us, including police officers, especially police officers. When you do something you ain't supposed to do, man, atone from it. Understand that there was a better choice. And then go and teach that better choice to people. Go to your own police department. Go to other police departments. My folks that have, you know, if this your first roller coaster in a protest and your first time like looting or doing something that you shouldn't be doing, go teach the opposite to people. You done been bad, now go teach it what it means to be good, so that way each person has their choice to make in the matter. For those of y'all, you know, like I said, for those of y'all who are looting and rioting, you know, go do what you do, man. Go and make your decisions. That's cool. I'm not here to tell you which decisions to make. What I am saying, the decision to make is, what do you do after that? You done broke windows and things. You done trashed places. Are you gonna help clean it up? That's a part of the moral fact. It's part of the character building. It's no different than anybody else's situation. We go through it our entire lives. So, kind of my little wrap up. You know, this is more just a brainstorming thing. Maybe I'll post this, maybe I won't. But that's what I want to come in and talk about. Now, so I'm going to wrap that a little up and then I'm going to hop to the next topic. So that topic, right? So how do we get to the solution? Is that police officers, when y'all see police officers make wrong decisions, I get it's y'all's jobs and there's politics and all that. That's how you change things, by checking their character. What are you going to do different next time? You know, for the one you mess around and kill somebody on the job and you know you blatantly did it, you ain't got no job. But what do you do after that? Do you go and talk to the people? Do you go and atone? Do you go and say, I was wrong and here's what I'm going to do? I'm going to work so that the next person isn't in my situation for the better. That's how we create change. And I know there are two main words that's difficult with change: free will and power. Those two things are difficult. Free will and power. And that's the part that we can teach people, is that within their free will, they have the free will to make a choice. And we have to teach them to make the choice that's most beneficial for everybody. Like I said, I'm not mad at nobody. I'm mad at some of y'all. It's more of a thing, man, to help uplift us. Because me getting mad, me getting angry, those are my emotions. Those are y'all's emotions. Y'all stay mad. Y'all stay angry. But once you come off of the anger, once you come off of the emotions, what do you do then? What do we do then? Me, my thought and solution. First things first. You make a mess, go clean it up. A little short story, then I'll switch topics. I remember when I was like 9 years old and I vandalized this house, broke the windows, me and a friend being stupid. Our intent, we thought we were having fun and being funny. There sure wasn't no way to be funny. So what happened? Well, first I got the ass whooping of my life. It happens. But that didn't well, that was a piece of it that changed my direction. But it was the fact that I had to clean it up. Now, I didn't physically clean it up. You know, my dad had to pay for it. But then I had to apologize to him. And I had to do my punishment. And then I had to pay for it out of my allowance and do chores. Right? Because, see, now I know that no matter what it is, if I make a mess or I do something that I shouldn't be doing, I'm the one who has to clean it up. I have to be accountable for it. And so that's all I'm saying. You know, y'all be mad and protest. I'm mad along there with y'all, you guys. And I wouldn't even say I'm mad. I'm saying it's gone beneath that. Everybody's thriving off anger, as they should. But I'm hurt, and that's the most important part. You want to connect with somebody, show them how hurt you are. Not by yelling at them. Not by... And most people get it. They yelling because they're angry. But you talk to them and say, this is what's hurt. This is what hurts. I'm not going to yell at you, man, because yelling at you is not going to do anything. You're not going to want to hear me. You're not going to hear my pain. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm hurt because of X, Y, and Z. So for the police officer, man, or any policeman out there, you do something wrong on the job, man, check your moral compass. Check yourself. Are you upholding those laws that are given, that are derived from a moral compass? I know as citizens don't. We make it hard on y'all. But y'all's response makes it hard on us sometimes. So that's that. The other thing, most of us want, I'm going to keep it real. Most of us want white folks to understand what we're experiencing. Here's the thing. They'll never understand the experience. They're tired of seeing it, and so are we. And we say we need them too. And one of the things I always tell people is that you'll never understand my experience, but you can probably understand my feelings. So here's where it gets kind of real. For my friends, white, black, Mexican, whoever, but I'm going to say to the white folks, I love y'all. I love y'all. But if you're one of the ones out there that when you see a minority walk by and you clutch your purse or you worry, you get scared, you get paranoid. Imagine us feeling that way every time we see a police interaction. You want to connect with us? That's how you do it. Not by our experience, but you take that same feeling that no matter what you see, when you feel like you don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day, to all my, and this is no way, shape, or form to downplay anybody's feelings, emotions, or situations. To my women and men out there who are in abusive relationships or abusive situations where you don't know what's going to happen. You're walking on eggshells. You're looking over your shoulder. You're worried about that message you're about to get. Imagine us every day going through that when we see a police interaction. We're not saying it's going to happen, and somebody be like, well, that's not going to happen. I understand that. It might not, but that's not the point. The point is the thought is already up here. It's already in our heads. We're already thinking about it. We're already worried about it. We're sitting and thinking and worried, man, well, how's this going to end? What's going to happen? For all my white folks out there where you fear your kid's going to go somewhere, end up in a bad neighborhood, and you fear that their life's going to be changed or something's going to happen. Imagine us doing that every day when we drive by and see a police officer. And again, it doesn't brand every cop as a bad cop. It simply means that the thought is up here. And most of us would look back and say, that thought should never occur, as many of you would dismiss. That thought should never occur. And I'm going to be honest, it shouldn't, but it is. And so, you know, that's kind of my take somewhat on everything's going on. You know, if I haven't addressed something, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to post this or not. This is just me talking because of Topic Tuesday. I want to kind of give my thoughts on it. You know, something else might pop up here as I'm walking. But most folks are like, how do we change stuff, man? That's what it is. You hold the folks accountable for their behavior. But they have to hold themselves accountable. Themselves. Again, I'm going to go back to the cop. You killed somebody knowing you was using a tactic you weren't supposed to. Say that, own that. And then how do you address the community? You come out and say, you know what, you guys? Man, I took a man's life and I got to deal with that. And now I'm going to figure out a way that I don't put myself in that situation, that I never respond like that again. And what I'm going to do is take that and work with my police department and say, hey, we have to patrol these streets. How do we make the relationship better? I'm going to be somebody who's ostracized now, but I need to take that ostracized, that whatever the word is, I take that position of being ostracized, and I need to do good somehow and spread the message. Hey man, look what I did. No, you don't handle a situation like that. You end up like I did. I'm working with the police departments so that my behavior doesn't happen so nobody else does what I did. Nobody else does that same behavior. For my protesters, man, keep protesting. Keep marching, stay strong. Do the things that are in your rights. When it goes beyond peaceful protest, we're burning stuff, breaking things. Like I said, if that's what you choose to do, hey, go for it and do it. I accept that it's happening. Do I approve? Nah. However, I accept that it happens. There's no judgment on me to you. The only thing I say is clean it up, man. Clean it up. Go help somebody board up their windows. Go help somebody put, go fund me. Go put some merchandise in it. Go clean their bathrooms. Do something so that the moral fabric of yourself is changed. That's the real power. I'm not saying to go do it all the time and then atone that way, because now you have a decision. Now you have a decision. When you get into that situation or you feel that way, you know what the next step is. It's funny, I was watching a video that somebody put up, and it was a peaceful protesting, and this kid, and it was a white kid with a skateboard, went and hit the back of a police car, and then he ran. It's like this. First off, yo, protesters, if y'all ain't checking him and being like, whoa, homie, look. No, sir. No, sir. But then don't run. Don't run from the fight. Don't go and push the dude and then run behind everybody. Like, come on. Protesting is a tough thing. You have to stand there and take it. Just like the police officers are taking all of our remarks and comments. If you go and do something that is technically a crime and illegal, peaceful protest, not peaceful assembly, is not illegal. Nope. But then as the kid, don't go and hit the back of a police car and then run from it, man. Don't do that. Stand there. Take it like a champ. Because that's the irony, right? If you look at this situation, that's the irony. White person goes and does something, nothing happens, right? I'm not saying in all situations. I don't want nobody generalizing what I'm saying. But a white person goes and does something, and I'm using this incident because this is the meaning of why people are marching and upset. A white person does something, nothing really happens. A black person does something, arrest, jail, shot, whatever. Badly beaten. And that's the irony. And that's what people are protesting. The mistreatment. For the folks that are saying the all lives matter, nobody's arguing that with you guys. Nobody's arguing that they don't matter. You have to stick to the topic, and that's what people are good at. That's why I love my profession, and people hate me for it, because I always come back to the topic. I'm not gonna let you run me into no tree branches when I'm talking about the trunk of the tree. We ain't finna go into no tree branches yet. Let's focus on this trunk real fast. I don't want to be like, oh, the trunk of this tree is all jacked up and like, look how it's eaten and it's messed up. Oh, well, look over here. This branch is pretty. Hold on, let's stay here with the trunk first. And that's what happens, right? And so, in relation to that, the Black Lives Matter movement is just an equal treatment. That's all. We're tired of people. We're tired. We're tired of seeing a man dead on the street, a man shot, losing their life by people who are supposed to protect us. I'd be happy to have that healthy debate with somebody So that you can understand. But at the core of it, you guys, this is what it is. At the core of it is the intention and behavior. You want to help affect change? That's what, you know, that's what you do. You look at somebody's intention, but you check their behavior. Nobody in this world is absolved of their behavior regardless of their intention. I want to keep the peace between me and somebody, so I lie to them. They find out. My intention was I didn't want to argue, I didn't want to fight. It doesn't matter that you didn't want to fight or argue. It was the behavior. Just don't lie. So, for my folks who are saying all lives matter things, you're right, man. Nobody's arguing that. All lives do matter. We all bleed the same blood. We're from the same. We're all created here the same. We come from the same basic organ. You know, unless you cloned, you come from a woman's egg and the usage of a man's sperm. We all get here the same way. There's only one person I know who didn't get here, you know, without something of that occurring, and his name was Jesus. And so, my all lives matter people, keep promoting that. But you have to understand what the movement is about. It's about that equal visualization, that equal visual, right? That when it comes to police, blacks and police interaction, somebody will say, "Oh well, you know, more whites are killed by cops." Then go start your movement. Go start your movement. Go start your movement. White lives matter. I don't know if it's going to go across the same way, but if that's your issue, then go start the movement. Because we need y'all's help. We need y'all just as much as y'all need us. We need y'all to stand up and say what he did was wrong. And he needs to be checked on his behavior, not by a simple arrest, but then that's when we hold him accountable and say, what would y'all do? Because we give a lot of valid arguments. This happens here, this happens, we need policy. And I'm not talking about moral fabric in the sense of, you know, you ain't even got to be religious to speak on this, but in the sense of knowing right from wrong. I mean, it's still a moral thing, but not from a direct religious perspective. You know, folks will probably be like, well, it's not a religion. Okay, well, cool. Let's say you don't believe in that. You believe in trees. Somebody cut down the tree, you probably going to be like, that's wrong. But what if they come and tell you, okay, you're right, but I'm going to plant another one? Check their behavior, right? The intention, the character, the behavior. So it affects the character. You want to change, that's how you change it. So, kind of to sum up my little talk, and I'm like I said, I don't know if I'm going to post this or not. This is really me and Robert just talking right now. But on Topic Tuesday, I'm going to talk about them and go over this video and kind of pick out some things. But that's it. And like I said, I'd be happy to have the healthy debate with somebody and have a discussion, because there are a lot of angry people out there, and I don't blame y'all, man. I don't blame y'all at all. And I worry on two fronts. Like I said, I'm a black man, black and Hispanic, but a black man in America. And I have a homeboy that's a police officer, who's a black police officer. And it's hard. You know, he told me he was going out. I was where I got emotional at. I'm getting emotional now. Like, I worry about him. I worry about his safety. Not only behind protecting us, but also behind the wheel of his own car. It's tough, man. But again, that character, you guys, we got to check that. Police officers, you have a duty. Check your character before you enter the force, while you're in the force, after you're in the force. All of us, check that character. Might make you a better person. But that's all I got for right now. I'm sure something else will pop up. So, hey, y'all be safe out there, man. Remember, if nobody loves you, know that I do. And I don't know if I'm going to post this or not, but I'm out. Peace. Love y'all.